Hey everyone, welcome back to Empire Build Academy Favian. I want to jump quickly into the sub-city and the generals that we can use. It's a very quick guide. Now, this is one of those guides that can actually turn out to be quite complicated if we talk about too much stuff. So what I'm going to try and do is talk about the important things for the sub-city and try and keep it minimum so a lot of the information actually sticks in how the sub-city generals work for the free-to-play. So let's go straight over to the game now. Now, the first thing I want to show you is this building over here. There's just a couple of pointers that I want to point out for this particular building. When you go in there, you will see how many subordinate cities you have. This is a very important feature if you are being merged. Now, the reason I say that is because if you've got 9 out of 9 like me, and then you went to another subordinate city general, and actually your Duke ranking has lowered, and you're only entitled to 8 subordinate cities, I would not be able to get rid of one of those subordinate cities because I wouldn't be able to get that back until I got that Duke ranking up. So this is just an important feature to keep an eye on when you are merging with anyone else. Another point that I also want to mention is this as well. These two little ticks are very important. Make sure you've got both of them ticks. These help with your subordinate cities being automatically used for defending and attacking. So that is crucial as well. Then we have the actual subordinate city and the general. So this will be the country. This is Russia. As you can see, Russia is used for defending. This will be the level. So this is a purple subordinate city. And then this is the general that is attached to that particular subordinate city. Okay, now let's go straight over to the subordinate city generals. I want to show you one of the generals that I've got. Now, when I click into Mark Antony, there's a couple of things just to be made aware of in here. One, make sure that you always have your spirit beasts attached to your subordinate city generals, especially if they are bringing debuff to the attack. So that is the first thing. Again, I'm going to keep it short, not going to talk too much about it. Just make sure you've got one of those attached and they are bringing debuffs. 2, these here are the different weapons that we use. Now, these are normally a cross between fearless and courageous Achmenidate equipment, so just be aware that these all come with different debuffs. And if I show you the first one, you can see in here there is debuffs on this. Crucially, that range troop HP debuff, and you will also notice as well they are Parthian, and what that means is the fearless and the courageous sets have been upgraded and taken to the next level via equipment upgrade to Parthian, and then that will actually bring you extra debuff. And what you will notice down here, which is the enemy troop attack 18% if you have a full set of 6 Parthian equipment. Now, of course, again, I just want to reiterate, and I will just show you quickly, that they don't start off as Parthian. Go over to the equipment side of things, go into the craft. Let's use the ring as an example because it's the most important one for your subordinate city generals, and you'll see the difference here. So this is the fearless Achmenidate ring, and you have got to be careful. Now, it doesn't matter if you mix up the sets. So that's the fearless Achmenidate, and then this is the courageous one. They both upgrade to Parthian once you have one or of the other. So you can mix the courageous, you can mix the fearless Achmenidate equipment. Now, it's the courageous Achmenidate ring that we want all of our generals. All of our subordinate city generals, one of the first things you do for them is attach one of these rings to each of your subordinate city generals. And then once you've done that, that's when you would then go into the equipment upgrade. And I'm going to make one of these now because I can, because I've got so much of the materials available for it. So let's make one of these right now. Click on to begin, and then I'm just going to close that down, speed that up, finish it all. And then what I want to do then is I want to take this piece of equipment. So I now have this courageous Achmenidate ring that is coming with that 20%. And that's the crucial part there, only 20, and if it was a full set of the Achmenidate, it would only bring 15, but when we upgrade it, that's when things change. So coming off this, click confirm. So I now have that ring, and then when I go into equipment upgrade and I go and look for that particular ring that I've just purchased, again, I just want to go across to all of these until I find the courageous one. This is the one that I've bought. This is the one that comes with that 20%, but it will increase once you've upgraded the star levels. But again, when I then click on upgrade for this one, although I'm not going to do it, and I'll tell you the reason why, is because this particular material here is used for the equipment upgrades, and I'll be honest with you, they are very, very difficult to get hold of. So as much as I'd like to upgrade it and show you the upgrade, I'm not going to do that because I need to keep those Forge badge certificates for upgrading other equipment further down the line. So that is what you would do. It would take the level up, and as I said, if I just go and attach this ring now, actually, just to show you what I mean, I'm just going to find any random general. Let's go to a subordinate city one down at the bottom. Got this guy here. Let's go and give him my lovely little ring, which was this courageous Achmenidate. And if we click on wear, and then what I can do then is when I click into this and I click into view, I've got the option to upgrade the star level, and this is where you will see that enemy range troop attack will go up. So it's gone to 24, now gone to 28, 32, 36, all the way up 40%. And that is why the Akmenadei ring, the courageous Akmenadei ring, is without doubt one of the most crucial pieces of equipment for your subordinate city general. And if you're doing this as a free to play and you are making these equipments for the first time, just concentrate on the ring and then go to the other pieces of equipment after. I'm not going to jump into the equipment and what all the different buffs do. The reason I say that is because it would make this too long, too complicated to talk about. But what I will do is again just show you that this is all Parthian. That comes with enemy range troop HP. That's what I'm trying to look for. This one's enemy range troop defense, which isn't necessarily going to be helpful, but there is some in-city range troop attack attached to that. And then continue down, enemy siege machine attack will be a decent one because eventually siege marches will be sent at you. And again, we can continue down seeing all the different ones. But as you can see, that enemy range troop attack only comes on the ring, and that's why you attach all of them to your subordinate city generals first. Another thing that I want to mention as well, you also get the opportunity to refine this equipment. Now, I'm going to say it's absolutely pointless on the subordinate city generals. The reason being is it only counts towards, the refines only count towards the troops that is in the subordinate city. And they are always dying. They are very minimal. And when I say minimal, I'm talking tens of thousands. And so that's where that goes to. So it really makes no difference. Obviously, if you've got refine stones to throw around, you can do it, but as a rule you wouldn't refine your pieces of equipment on your subordinate city generals. Now, I mentioned about the different subordinate cities, just want to jump back in there again quickly. As I mentioned, you can see on here I've got Russia and Japan. Those are the two biggest subordinate cities that everyone tries to attach to them. Japan is attack, Russia is defense. So you can see I've got a few Japan, but now that I am concentrating purely on defense, there is the opportunity or the potential that I may change these for Russia. Haven't yet made the decision, but just to be aware, any other subordinate city attached to a subordinate city general is not really any value. Japan for attack, Russia for defense. I did also talk about the different spiritual beasts, and this is again something that's very important. You can see actually recently got this spiritual beast, and again comes with that enemy range troop attack. So again, that is something else that now that's attached to a subordinate city general, more enemy range troop attack debuff that is being sent to me. And again, all of them come with different ones, but not just that, you also get it in the seal as well, that you can see on here. So you can see all these different levels here. There's some defending range troop attack, and also as well, just be aware of the seal attributes that also come with some in-city defending as well. So if you are concentrating on defense, it's also worth having a look at these to be able to increase that in-city, especially as you are likely to be mounted, and I know there are some in-city mounted buffs in there as well. Okay, another thing to talk about as well before we just quickly jump into the generals is on each of the subordinate city generals that you can get. Just going to jump into this quickly. We use this guy as an example, Hojo Ujiyasu, if I said that correctly. He also comes with the specialities, and I think it's the third one. No, it's not the third one. Second one across. And a lot of the subordinate city generals will come with this enemy troop attack debuff as well. So if you're going to concentrate on anything, the others don't really need doing, but certainly that second one, again, is another opportunity to get some debuff for your subordinate city generals. Now, when we're talking about subordinate city generals, we now need to know which ones are the best. And in terms of free to play, let's go back to this. Mark Antony isn't available. Baldwin isn't available. I don't believe Hojo is as well. But the two that definitely are Andrew Jackson and Arminius. These two here, and I believe Harold as well, is also available in the tavern for you to get. Now, the reason we use Andrew Jackson is when we click in this, the first thing he's going to come with is 20% debuff of that range troop attack. Now, you imagine if you filled all of them up with Andrew Jacksons, that's a lot of 20% that are going to be debuffed from the enemy attack. And of course, it also gives you the opportunity as well to debuff even further when you're doing the ascensions. So the next level for me is to take Andrew Jackson on this particular one to that 4th ascension star, which is going to be again some more range troop attack debuff, as well as you can see the 5th star. So that's a total of 60%. If you ascended this guy all the way, that would be 60% debuff on the range. Times that by how many subordinate city generals you've got, times that by the ring being attached to them all as well, and you can quickly see how quick that debuff is going to start adding up. And just to show you an example from an attack, I can go into battlefield. I can have a look at yesterday's report that I got from here, and I think it was not that one. It was, when I find it, this one here. So you can see 6.7 billion, Taco King centre march at me, and if we're going to have a look at the debuffs on this, when we go into the debuffs, you will see down at the bottom with that ranged troop attack, it's actually higher than this. It's actually in the 1400s for me now that I've got for that ranged troop attack debuff. So it definitely works, definitely helps in reducing those attacks and making it a lot easier to defend. Now, to finish off, again, like I say, I want to keep this really short. I don't really like doing too in-depth because it can confuse people. So I want to keep this short and I want to keep these points memorable. So the next thing is the tavern. Go into recruit, and when we go into this, what I want you to do first is go into portraits, and then when we go inside there, we can have a look at the subordinate city people. Now, what you will notice is across Europe, America, Japan, Korea, all these different ones, you will notice, so you can see straight away there, Andrew Jackson is in America. But if you then go to the refresh probability in tavern, you will also see what the potential chance of Andrew Jackson coming out, and you can see it's 0.13%. I will be honest, so few gems that need spending and also a lot of pressing to get all the different ones, but eventually you will get into a situation, a position where you can take all of them. And me now, not really spending on the game, this is probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to fill up all of my generals with Andrew Jacksons. No point doing it straight away because I've got some to the 1-star that are certainly going to bring high debuffs. Mark Antony, I know, comes with decent debuff, so I don't want to change Mark Antony for an Andrew Jackson, but I would want to change a Mark Antony for a potential 4-star, 5-star Andrew Jackson, and that's eventually where I want to be. Let's continue across in Europe. I mentioned Arminius, and Arminius is decent because he comes with that enemy ranged troop and siege machine attack of 15%. So the fact that he does both is also very, very decent, and also an option to use because eventually when you go further down the game, it's sort of protecting you against the both marches there, the ranged and the siege. And this is another one. I base it on basically who's popping out. So if Arminius is popping out, I'm going to take it. If Andrew Jackson's popping out, I'm going to take Andrew Jackson. Again, let's go back to the different ones in here. So you've got the likes of Nero. Now, Nero, personally, is no good. You'll see this guy popping out a lot, but he's useless really on the game compared to Andrew Jackson and compared to Arminius. Harold, he comes with enemy troop attack debuff by 10% and enemy troop HP by 10%. He's certainly not the worst. And again, if you are looking to ascend someone to a high level, I'd be just taking these people. You would potentially throw this guy there as an option, because if you are going to get this guy to 5-star and you find him quicker in the tavern than others, then that also makes sense to do that. But in an ideal world, I want all of mine filled with either Arminius or Andrew Jackson all the way across. That Arminius, like I say, siege machine attack as well, protecting against the two different ones. That's what I'd be looking to do. And when again we go into that refresh probability in the tavern, you can actually see the ones that aren't going to come out. And you can see I mentioned about Baldwin, I mentioned about Mark Antony. There they are. They're not going to come out. But who is going to come out is Arminius, and you can see there is only 0.07. Harold is only 0.07. In Japan, we can go into there. Again, you can see this guy will come out. Tokugawa Ieyasu, but again, the buff is useless. You don't want it. But production speed by 75%. Don't have these people attached to your sub-cities. And again, I'm not going to go across all of them because I've genuinely mentioned the ones that you need to look out for, and they are without doubt, in my opinion, Andrew Jackson first, Arminius second, Harold third. Now, if you disagree with that, then please do mention it in the comments. Talk to me and give me your understanding and your ideas as why this wouldn't be beneficial for the free-to-play. So that is it. I'm now going to do a very quick rundown of what I just talked about, nice and quickly. We go into the subordinate city. We can see how many subordinate cities we've got via this method here. If you're being merged, be careful, because you could lose one of your subordinate cities if you was to drop one. Make sure both of these ticks are always on so that they're always defending and attacking. You can see the level of your particular subordinate city. This is a purple level. This is the general that is attached, and this is where it's from. Now remember, Russia is defense, Japan is attack. So you just need to make a decision on which one you want to be. If you are all out attack, you'd want all out Japans in an ideal world, although they are very hard to get when going after the yellow ones. I was lucky back in the day, back in the early days, when I was paying money on the previous server, 1525, and that's how I've managed to get them. I have zero luck and no chance at all of getting any in the future, and that's why I've decided to stop spending on this particular game. So that is for the overview of the subordinate city. Now when you go into the generals, quite simple. All we need to remember is that ring there. this one here is the ring that you want attached to all 6, coming with that enemy ranged attack debuff. So that ring, upgrading it to Parthian, all of your subordinate city generals should be the first thing you're doing, and then you can then concentrate on trying to fill out all the sets and stuff like that, so that you can also get the 18% enemy troop attack debuff for owning the set as well. Lastly, the specialty, which is this one here, the one that's the second one across, is the one that we want to go into, because again comes with some more enemy troop attack debuff as well. And if I just show you Andrew Jackson, because that's the one that we're all going to have, you're not really going to have the likes of Mark Antony unless you're lucky. But if we have a look at Andrew Jackson, if we have a look at his specialty, you will also notice again enemy troop attack debuff 10%. Let's have a look at Arminius. Enemy troop attack debuff. It's not going to show me there, so I'll need to go into it. But again, this will be enemy troop attack debuff. And again, if I was to get all of them, it would total 10%. And then lastly, to finish off, the 3 generals in order that I would choose would be Andrew Jackson, Arminius, followed by Harold, and that would be the only 3 I'd add. Any questions about this, then please do drop them in the comments. I will try my best to answer them, or someone else might do. And again, if you are one of the people that contributes to the channel and gets involved in the comments, giving your ideas and your solutions, then please continue doing it. It's only making us all better, including myself. That brings me to the end of this particular video. If you like this content, please do consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video, and I will see you in another video very soon. Thanks for watching.